Hello, it's the Balanced Man channel. I'm back again with another video. Sweden's coronavirus death toll is now approaching zero, but experts are warning others not to hail it as a success. Now, this article. Yet, coronavirus deaths in Sweden have fallen dramatically in recent days and are now approaching zero. Between June 30th and July 6th, Sweden recorded fewer than 5 deaths per day on all days but one. Sweden did not impose strict lockdown as the other countries have done. In the beginning, they had high rates of deaths. Now they having lower deaths now to almost zero. So you can see people are dying less from the virus. If all the countries have followed Sweden, then maybe everybody else could have been approaching zero. The decline in newly diagnosed cases has been even more dramatic. In late June, Sweden diagnosed more than 1,800 people per day as COVID-19 positive. Today, just 2 weeks later, only one-sixth of that number are testing positive on a daily basis. They always keep using sixes all the time. I don't know how people can test 1,800 people a day. Who has the time for that? Sweden did not implement a full-scale lockdown. Instead, it allowed people to live relatively normal lives. It banned gatherings with more than 50 people, imposed limits on customers in restaurants, urged people to social distance, and banned elderly care homes visitors. The Hope State epidemiologist Ander Tegnell said was that people might develop a widespread herd immunity as this happened. So, what you're seeing is people are developing herd immunity. It's a natural thing that's happening. And this is what these other countries should have been happening. We don't need the vaccine. I believe we should just continue as normal and let the natural herd immunity happen. Swedish authorities said that the reason the case rate shot up in June is due to increased testing. Even if people were truly testing positive, their bodies are naturally fighting this stuff off anyway. We don't need a vaccine. It says, as for why there's been a recent drop, the answer is that there is no short answer. Pekka Norti, an epidemiologist in Finland's Tampere University, told Business Insider, pointing to changes in testing, changes in behaviors, and more time spent outside. But that's not even close to being achieved. Tegnell said in June that the trends in immunity have been surprisingly slow. One study then showed 6.1% of Sweden's population had developed antibodies by late May. Every time they keep using six, how many sixes are we going to be seeing? What I'm trying to say is the antibodies, our bodies are meant to develop antibodies so that it can fight it off. Your body has to learn how to fight this off. Now, look here, although we shouldn't trust any of these scientists, I still think that Sweden is kind of a little being a bit honest. You know, their cases in their countries are going down to zero and they have no strict lockdown. People are still working, people are still doing things in their society. They didn't stop, but in many societies they stopped completely, and right now they still got cases going high anyway. Their cases ain't going down. But what's going on in all these other countries is they are blaming all the other deaths that happening from other diseases as a COVID cause. Or so I really believe that Sweden is probably being a little bit more honest. It says summer may have slowed the spread because people are spending less time indoors. Well, one of the theories that we heard out here was sunlight kills the virus. That's what we heard. But they didn't follow all the other countries. Well, the country that is being criticized the most for not putting themselves on lockdown, I believe Sweden. They didn't put their country on lockdown. They let the people work and did their thing. They did social distancing and all the other health stuff. That's all they did. And you can see what our government should have been doing this whole time. Instead, spend money on vaccine. That's why I'm saying right now, we'll see what happens in the next couple months. Majority of the people who are dying are elderly. Subscribe.